WUSA 9 Weather Watch Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
And I'm WUSA 9 meteorologist Topper Shutt. Well, we're tracking this big storm, and this is a monster storm. Remember, this brought 9 inches of snow this morning to Frostburg, brought snow as far north as the Great Lakes, and tornadoes as far south as Florida. So that's a pretty massive storm. Now, some good news here. This is radar past couple of hours. Notice the back edge of the precip, just about to cross over 95 just to our south. That is good news. So that means that heavy access of rain is pretty much through the metro. We may have some residual showers tonight till about midnight or so, but I think the heavy rain is going to end pretty quickly in places like Leesburg and Fairfax. Now, where you still see the orange and the red, that is still very heavy rainfall, especially for January. Rainfall rates in the orange about 0.8 per hour. You see the little area of red here, that's about 1 inch per hour, and that's also a little bit of a gust front. I did some querying on the radar. Winds with that particular front that's now approaching Chestertown across the bay, about 50, 51 miles per hour. So we still have heavy rain in Rockville and Germantown, so going up to 70, a mess. And around the Beltway, still essentially a mess as well. And now the heavy rain continues, Bowie to Annapolis on 50, down 301. And Route 5 into Waldorf and La Plata. So you're not done yet, but the good news is, if you look here, I mean, Leesburg, you're done with the heavy rain, and Manassas, you're done, Upperville, you're done, Warrenton, you're done. Not going to say you can't have another shower, but this is about to clear the metro area. We'll zoom in. This is still pretty heavy rain from Silver Spring, around the Beltway, just east of McLean, and certainly as you go across the Beltway up toward 95, you're going to have heavy rain College Park and heavy rain down toward Old Town. So we're not done just yet, but we're making some pretty good progress here. We'll kind of widen out. There it is from Bowie down through Upper Marlboro, 301, Brandywine. Yeah, that's heavy rainfall. That's rainfall rates of about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. And again, that radar does not usually look like that in January. Sometimes we'll see yellow in January. That's usually picking up sleet. We don't really ever see orange or red in January, but this is kind of a weird pattern we're in. The storm was so far to the west of us, it brought up a lot of warm air, and that's what happens to us. These are all storm reports, and essentially between about 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock this afternoon, most of them came in then. This is water right here, and excuse me, that is a tree down, that icon, and then this is water flooding, and it's still going on in parts of Fairfax County. And in fact, most of the metro area still has some kind of flooding going on. Maybe not all severe flooding, but some flooding. So they haven't trimmed this back either. I think they will shortly. Certainly when we see at 11 o'clock, we'll update the watches and the warnings. So we have a flood watch for the metro until tomorrow morning. That's in green. In light green, look at that. That means flooding is occurring at this hour. So I don't want, you to think, hey, when the heavy rain ends at 10 o'clock, I can, go out and be okay. You may still run across flooded roads. These flood warnings last anywhere from 11:30 tonight until tomorrow evening, depending on where you are. So, yeah, the rain shuts off well before midnight, but the flood threat will continue because we have reports of flooding. All right, 9 o'clock tonight. Heavy rain now moving just through Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, and down into Calvert and St. Mary's County. So by 9 o'clock, another 40 minutes or so, rain just about to exit the immediate metro and move across the bay. By 10 o'clock, yeah, it's across the bay now. Heavy rain, Georgetown, over toward Salisbury, out toward the ocean resorts. Yeah, we have a little areas of green, some leftover showers are possible. Not a problem. Look at the temps, 64. So the high tomorrow will be the temperature tonight at midnight, probably in the mid-50s. And notice the winds. This kind of shows you, how they are switching. With the low pressure system, southeast winds along the coast, but now it's far enough away from us, the winds are going to shift. Front goes through. Winds are now southwest. So these arrows are the winds, and southwest always the direction of origin of the winds. But 64 degrees at 10 o'clock is, I don't know, it's crazy. By 11 o'clock, we're still 61, 50 in Hagerstown, getting a little colder out toward Cumberland. Temperatures there back in the mid-40s. And, I think tomorrow, places like Frederick and certainly Hagerstown and Cumberland will probably have higher wind gusts tomorrow than we had today. You're going to get some pretty strong winds late morning and afternoon tomorrow. Now, we get into like 11:30, there's a shower, so I can't say it's not going to, shower, but the good news is after 10 o'clock, heavy rain is gone. That's good. Okay, here's a look at the actual observations. This is not a computer model. It's actually an observation, 8 o'clock, so just 20 minutes ago. Winds gusting to 50 in Philly, 46 in Atlantic City, 47 in Ocean City. And notice around here, we're okay. We're kind of have a little pocket of relatively calm winds, which is pretty good. 48-mile-per-hour wind gust in Roanoke. But also notice, look back to the west. I mean, winds are still gusting 25 to 30. Cleveland, Cumberland, Columbus, and Charleston. Those are kind of our winds tomorrow, 25, 30, maybe 40 up along the Maryland-PA border. Again, close in view, winds gusting to 21 in Frederick, 26 in Martinsburg, but this is where it's happening right now. 56-mile-per-hour wind gust in Salisbury, 32, by the way, sustained, 31 in Georgetown, sustained, 53-mile-per-hour wind gust. So this is really good, and I really think they're going to trim these advisories back shortly, but they have not yet. All right, our winds, 47-mile-per-hour winds recorded at National, 55 the Bay Bridge. That's why they closed the Bay Bridge. Foggy Bottom had a 51-mile-per-hour wind gust, and 49 at Andrews and 60 at Taylor's Island. So some of the models were a little aggressive on the winds, but they were within 10 miles per hour of the winds. We knew it was going to be a big storm with wind and also heavy rain. So they haven't changed this yet. By they, I mean the National Weather Service still holding on to the wind advisory to the west, and then this darker color is a high wind warning, which we don't see too often, by the way, here. We see it more west out in the mountains, but gusts up to 60 possible, yes. It goes until 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to believe before 11 o'clock they are going to cancel all of that, or at least shift it a little farther east across the bay. So check in with us at 11 o'clock. We'll let you know just how bad the winds are going to be overnight in case it's trash night. So here is a different model of winds. This is our local model. 10:15 tonight still has very strong to damaging winds across the bay on the Delmarva. 66-mile-per-hour wind gust possible, Georgetown, 64 in Dover. And remember, this is not an observation. This is a forecast, snapshot in time. But notice we're left with winds 20 to 25, maybe 33-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Fredericksburg. So really not bad compared to what we had earlier today and what we could have had. By a little after midnight, winds still gusting 25 to 30. Notice they're picking up now back west of the divide in Oakland. Winds gusting to 40 there. And then by early morning, not crazy, but it's going to be enough to add a chill at the bus stop. Winds 10 to 20. Then they do pick up. 12:45. See the winds 40 at Hagerstown, 36 in Frederick, and even 30-mile-per-hour winds down toward Fredericksburg. And look at west of the divide. They really get some big winds tomorrow, maybe up to 50. Probably see a high wind warning or a wind advisory, certainly up west of the divide. Then notice the arrows again, southwest winds, okay? So it's going to be a bit blustery tomorrow. And then we get into the 5 o'clock hour, winds start to calm down, storm begins to pull away. So winds are now essentially 15 to 20 miles per hour, maybe 26 in Frederick, and maybe a 22-mile-per-hour wind gust in Fredericksburg. But for the most part, we're much, much better shape. Okay. The winds. We have this inland storm, and if you are a snow lover, you don't want that storm sitting over there. You want that storm off of Hatteras. So what it does is it brings the counterclockwise flow, and that gives us a really strong southeast flow. And that allows water to pile up on the west side of the bay, in this case, with southeast winds, and also kind of pile up in the Potomac. So we're seeing all kinds of flooding across any county that's touching water, Fairfax, down into Prince William, all have a flood advisory in effect, a flood warning. And we may see the worst flooding since October of 2022. We won't know for sure until tomorrow morning, but it's been pretty bad already in Old Town and in parts of the bay. Again, on the west side of the bay, that's where most of the problems are with the southeast wind. Now tomorrow, the winds go southwest, then there could be some minor coastal flooding on the east side of the bay. Okay, tomorrow, some clouds early, still windy, yes, but not crazy. Temps will struggle to get to 50, but bundle up the bus stop with the kids. Pleasant on Thursday. That's a pretty good day for January. 52, sunshine, not much wind for a change. And then Friday, another storm rolls in. And this is a similar track to this storm, so it's way west of us. So that means rain. Temperatures in the upper 40s, and rain should hold off until the afternoon. After that, clouds start again Saturday, and then kind of blustery, temperatures in the upper 40s. Saturday is going to be a lot like tomorrow. And then winter tries to make a little comeback here. 30s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Models have a little something on the map on Monday. Right now, the majority of models do not develop a storm, but there's enough moisture to at least maybe crank out a little afternoon or evening mix of some snow or some sleet. One model does have a storm. We'll see if that's going to come to pass. Remember, this is still way in the future. Either way, I think we'll have morning clouds on Tuesday and then clearing skies, and then some of the coldest air of the season. Highs holding in the mid-30s. All right, we will come back tonight at 11 with the latest in terms of damage and flooding, and we'll try to show you some areas that you may have to kind of avoid tomorrow morning because it is still flooding. Remember, when the rain stops, the flooding still continues. I'm meteorologist Topper Shutt.